As a child, our parents told us that being an egoist was bad, so all my conscious life I thought I was obliged to be a friendly, commanding person. But as practice shows, this is not the case at all. More often than not, life itself pushes us to choose the egoistic path, which in the end is more functional and trustworthy. Even in anime, we are told that sometimes we should choose the egoistic path of life. So what is egoism? Egoism is a pattern of behavior in which one focuses on personal benefit and gain, putting one's own interests above those of others. The year 2022 has just given us the toughest anime on the subject of egoism. Or to be more precise, it has given us Blue Lock, or the most divine, excellent anime about football. As you have already realized, this is a sports anime with a lot of effects. The plot of the anime tells us the story of Isagi Yoichi, who at the very beginning of the anime loses a match that could have taken him to the national tournament. Already in the very first episode, he starts to wonder, why did I lose? Why did I pass? What would have happened if I had tried to score myself? Already in the very beginning, the author makes Isagi ponder, and he also makes the viewers watching this anime ponder. After Isagi loses his dream, he unexpectedly receives a letter inviting him to attend a training camp. He, of course, agrees and goes there. Inside the building, he meets other players just like him, namely the strikers. Ego comes on the scene, a reference to egoism. He begins to tell them that in order to become Japan's top scorer, he must be an egoist, as only a true egoist can become Japan's best player. Candidates are not allowed to leave the institution until the selection process is over. From now on, they will live, train, and fight for their future in the Blue Lock. Whoever passes on will be able to emerge from this prison, a man who will stand on the same field as the best football players in the world. Those who fail will be kicked out of the Blue Lock in disgrace, and their sporting careers will be over. After Ego's words, Isagi retreats into himself, figuring that Blue Lock is the only chance he has to realize his mistakes and understand why he didn't score then. So Isagi decides to go to the Blue Lock. One of the great virtues of survival game thrillers is always the question of who gets to stay. And there are indeed plenty to choose from, with dozens of interesting personalities with their own motivations, physical wounds, and mental demons gathered in one place. This is where Isagi's story begins. As we can understand, Ego's words are completely contrary to all that is said, most of our parents. The Ego firmly believes in victory through egoistic moments. He is a dangerous man who will push everyone to the limit to improve them. He knows what he wants, and will do whatever it takes to achieve his goal. His words go against most anime, specifically an anime that is tied to the power of friendship. In the genre itself, there have been quite a few examples of the power of friendship, or the power of a team, the same Inazuma 11, Days, Ginga e Kickoff. All of these anime had pretty much the same structure and purpose, but each ended differently. In Inazuma 11, there is a great eagerness of the whole team to win the match and win the trophy. And in the case of Blue Lock, it is egotism and the title of top scorer, in terms of being a cautionary anime. Inazuma 11 will show that help, understanding, and teamwork skills are very important things. In turn, Blue Lock teaches the viewer to sort themselves out, teaching them to find their own way out of situations, as no one but you can help you solve your personal problems. This anime is like showing viewers what it's like to be a teenager who already has to live alone and deal with their problems alone. To understand even better the Blue Lock component, which is about our beloved egoism, we need to dive a little deeper. The structure of the Blue Lock itself is insanely simple. We have a main character who has a goal. In our case, it's to become a top striker, and throughout the anime he will go towards that goal. It would be too easy if our main character could easily get from point A to point B, so as usual, there will be a million barriers that will get in his way, but after overcoming them, he will get stronger and stronger, and then he will reach his final goal. In Blue Lock, the barriers to overcome are given by the Blue Lock itself, which is divided into several stages, at the end of which Isagi will get stronger and stronger. At the end of each stage, he is rewarded with the main prize, the title of top striker. The first challenge, faced by the heroes, is also riddled with egoism. They will have to play dodgeball in a room imitating the size of the penalty area. The lowest ranked player in the team starts first. He has to hit another player with the ball to pass the baton. Whoever is hit last, or has the ball in their feet at the end of the allotted time, is out of the project. As I said earlier, the structure of the anime is simple to the point of being simple. But then you might wonder why everyone likes Blue Lock so much. In my personal opinion, Blue Lock has gained such popularity because of three things: visuals, characters, and egoism. The visuals are what I would call one of the calling cards of the anime. You can see that the studio has decided to do some work, but the coolest thing is the effects, which appear the moment the characters enter, so to speak, the flow. If you don't get it, that's when they get stronger and start playing at an incredible level and scoring goals. Speaking of visuals, it's impossible not to mention the anime characters, because they're individual. Every character in the anime is well developed, but when it comes to those with a character, it is the character that is probably the most important thing for a character to be remembered by the audience. The secondary characters are interesting and well developed. Problems in the world of sport are often touched upon, such as stiffness after a serious injury, stiffness and lack of confidence, not being able to play alone but depending on someone else for support, and the character's lack of comparability in the game. To be honest, the main character and the players on his team are incredible, and they become incredible the moment they enjoy the game, or after realizing a new ability. But the best part is that everyone is interesting in their own way. I can probably single out a few of the most memorable characters from the Blue Lock, and they are Isagi, Bachira, Baro, and Nagi. Isagi. When he starts playing, his brain starts working at full speed, and he starts destroying on the field and scoring goals, so to speak. Bachira, on the other hand, is a character with some kind of monster in him. He is always asleep and smiling. Nagi has a bit of a lazy character, but when he loses, he gets a kick out of the game and plays seriously. And towards the end, Baro, the main face of Japan's egoism. He doesn't want to share the ball with anyone and scores goals himself. Oddly enough, Baro also has a so-called egoism. As said before, egoism is one of the points that make Blue Lock a popular anime. The matches here are fast-paced and very dynamic, with lots of character interactions and many different strategies in play. And the heroes here completely shatter their ideas about the game and create themselves anew by learning from their mistakes. So in fact, egoism is the main reason for the popularity of Blue Lock. Egoism is the driving tool for players. Without egoism and lust for goals, you will never get better. Before that, I talked about anime and the same genre in the sports genre. As we remember, their main feature was the power of friendship, or teamwork. So, against the backdrop of all these anime, Blue Lock stands out 100%. Even though there is teamwork here, the egoism is still at a higher level. I think Blue Lock is trying to say that being egoistic isn't always a bad thing. So be egoistic sometimes, and think of yourself more often. So what's my final opinion on this anime? Blue Lock is one of the best sports anime of all time. There are different players, each with their own unique abilities. Blue Lock also stands out for its ruthless characters. Although it wasn't released very long ago, it has conquered the world of football. Even international football players now know about this anime. Thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel. Goodbye.